All right, so we're diving into the entrepreneur's mindset today.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah, this is for anyone really wanting to get a handle on what makes entrepreneurs tick.
Yeah. Because what are those traits that really define them, right?
Exactly, and how do those play out in the the different types of entrepreneurs you see out there?
Yeah. And of
Oh,
course, we've got to learn from the best,
yeah,
right? But also from those who maybe didn't quite hit the mark.
yeah. Those are sometimes the most interesting stories.
Absolutely. You can learn a lot from mistakes, for sure.
So for this deep dive, we're using this book called The Entrepreneur's Mindset. And it actually starts off with this really cool story.
Oh, I like a good story.
It's about two guys who, back in 1990, started with the same amount of money. One was a musician, built himself a fancy mansion.
Oh, the rock star life.
Yeah, and the other one invested in a bank.
Interesting. So different paths right from the start.
Yeah, and the outcomes are, well, pretty different too.
I'm guessing the musician's fame maybe faded a bit.
Yeah, kind of sad, actually. The mansion's, well, it's more of a reminder of the past now.
The pitfalls of fleeting fame. What about the bank guy?
That bank, it's grown like crazy. Over 550 branches, 10,000 employees.
Wow.
Wild, right?
Wow. Talk about a legacy.
It really shows you how powerful the different mindset can be, even when you start from the same place.
And the book dives right into this idea, arguing that it's not just luck, it's that entrepreneur's mindset that drives success.
So how do they illustrate that?
Well, they take us back way back to ancient Egypt.
Wait, what? Ancient Egypt and entrepreneurs?
Yeah, you heard that right. The story of Joseph.
Okay, I'm intrigued but a little lost. How does that fit in?
Well, Joseph, even though he wasn't, running a business in the modern sense, he showed some serious entrepreneurial traits. He interpreted Pharaoh's dreams, predicted a famine, came up with a whole plan to save Egypt from starving.
Okay, I see it now. That proactive thinking, the planning, the resource management, it's all there.
Exactly. Thinking strategically, finding creative solutions, and ultimately his actions, well, they ended up having this huge economic impact.
Wow. So even way back then, that entrepreneurial way of thinking was making a difference.
It's timeless, really. And the book takes it a step further with this concept of entrepreneur archetypes. Joseph, for example, embodies a few: the visionary, the strategist, and the social entrepreneur.
Okay, break those down for me. The visionary is someone who sees what others don't, kind of like Elon Musk, right? Always pushing boundaries.
Exactly. They spot those opportunities, those trends, before anyone else.
And the strategist, someone like Bezos, maybe. Not just seeing the vision, but figuring out how to make it happen.
Spot on. Think of Joseph's plan for storing grain during the good years. That's strategic thinking in action.
So it's about having that roadmap, that plan to turn the dream into reality.
Precisely. And then there's the social entrepreneur, someone driven by a purpose bigger than just, making money. Like Mohammed Yunus founded the Grameen Bank to give those microloans to people.
Yeah, it's about making a difference, impacting the world in a positive way.
And Joseph's actions, ensuring the survival of his people, that aligns with that social impact focus arc.
It's amazing how you can connect these historical figures to modern entrepreneurs.
Oh, and the book goes even further. It actually lists a bunch of other archetypes, like the small business entrepreneur, the large business entrepreneur, the one leading a scalable startup, so many more.
Wow, so many different paths you can take.
Exactly. It just highlights that entrepreneurship, well, it's not one size fits all, right?
Definitely not. There's so many ways to apply that mindset.
But underneath all those different archetypes,
Yeah.
there are some core characteristics.
Okay, like the essential ingredients of the entrepreneurial mindset.
Exactly. Those traits that really drive success, regardless of your specific path.
So spill the beans. What are some of those key traits?
One of the most important is foresight. Like Joseph predicting the famine. It's about anticipating what's coming next in your industry.
Oh, like having that sixth sense.
In a way, yeah. Today, it's not enough to just react to change. You got to anticipate it.
And what about insight? I feel like that's kind of related.
Absolutely. Insight is about truly understanding your market, your product, your customers.
Okay, so foresight is looking ahead. Insight is knowing the present really well.
Think of it this way. Foresight helps you spot the wave. Insight helps you ride it.
I like that analogy. And the book also mentions creativity and innovation, right? Those seem pretty crucial.
Oh, absolutely essential. Creativity is about those new ideas, and innovation is putting them into action.
So are entrepreneurs basically just idea machines then?
In a way, yeah. They're never content with the way things are, always looking for ways to improve, disrupt,
But having ideas is one thing, making them happen is another.
That's where diligence and perseverance come in. It takes a ton of work to build a business.
And you're going to hit obstacles, setbacks for sure.
It's about that commitment, that willingness to put in the hours and overcome those challenges.
So you need that grit, that resilience to turn that idea into something real.
And that grit often comes from high energy and ambition. Entrepreneurs are driven, passionate about their work.
And you need to be a good networker too, right? You can't build a business alone.
Absolutely. The book stresses building relationships, collaborating, finding mentors, and alongside that, strong values.
Ethical behavior, doing business the right way, that kind of thing.
Exactly. It's about building trust, which is, well, essential for long-term success.
Makes sense. So all these traits, they kind of work together, right?
They do, yeah. And the book uses this story about a wood carver to highlight a few of them.
Okay, a wood carver. I'm curious, what's the story there?
So there's this farmer, had a pile of logs, thought they were worthless.
Just junk taking up space.
Right. But a wood carver saw those logs and envisioned something amazing. He carved this majestic eagle out of them.
Oh, I bet the farmer wanted that eagle back.
He did. He saw it and was blown away. Ended up buying it back, valuing it way more than those original logs.
So what's the lesson there? Seeing potential where others don't?
That's a big part of it, yeah. But it's also about adding value, transforming something ordinary into something extraordinary.
Like the wood carver turning those unwanted logs into a beautiful piece of art.
Exactly. But it's also about resourcefulness. The woodcarver didn't need fancy tools. He just used what he had.
That's a great message for entrepreneurs. You don't always need a ton of resources to get started.
Right. About being creative, making the most of what you have, and of course, perseverance. That eagle probably took a lot of time and effort.
So vision, value creation, resourcefulness, perseverance, all in one story.
It really showcases the power of that entrepreneurial mindset.
But just as important as knowing what to do is knowing what not to do.
Right. Absolutely. And that's where the book's analysis of Altavista, Friendster, and Nokia comes in.
Ah, yes.
Hey.
These were all giants in their fields, but they stumbled.
They did. Altavista, once the king of search engines, they didn't adapt.
Yeah.
Held onto their old ways while Google was revolutionizing things with its algorithm.
So they got complacent and a more innovative competitor took over.
It happens. And then there's Friendster, the early social media star, but plagued with technical issues, didn't really focus on the users.
Oh, I remember Friendster. It had so much potential.
Didn't prioritize building a scalable infrastructure. And then Facebook came along.
With its user-friendly design and constant updates, it's a reminder that you can't stand still in the tech world.
I got to be constantly innovating and adapting.
And what about Nokia? They were the mobile phone giants, but they completely missed the smartphone wave.
They underestimated touchscreens, apps, clung to their old ways while Apple and Android were changing everything.
It's almost painful to think about how close they were to dominating that market.
It shows the importance of embracing change, recognizing those disruptive trends.
Yeah, and being willing to adapt, even if it means letting go of what made you successful in the past.
It's a tough lesson, but a valuable one.
Absolutely. These stories, they're like cautionary tales for entrepreneurs.
Yeah, reminders that even the biggest giants can fall if they don't stay agile and innovative.
So we've covered a lot of ground here, from ancient Egypt to modern tech giants.
And we've seen how those core entrepreneurial traits can make all the difference.
And we still got more to explore, right?
Oh, yeah. In the next part of our deep dive, we'll see how the entrepreneur's mindset connects all of this to something pretty fundamental: Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Okay, now that's a connection I'm really curious about.
It's fascinating how the book ties those basic human needs to the world of entrepreneurship.
I'm hooked. Let's take a break and then we'll dive into that in the next part. Okay, so Maslow's hierarchy of needs. How does the book tie that to entrepreneurship?
It's pretty clever, actually. Maslow's hierarchy, those basic human needs.
Yeah, like that pyramid, starting with food and shelter at the bottom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then moving up to security, belonging, esteem, and finally self-actualization at the very top.
Right. So how does entrepreneurship fit in?
Well, the book argues that every level of that pyramid, every single level, presents opportunities for entrepreneurs to create successful businesses.
I see. So like at that most basic level, those physiological needs, you've got businesses providing the essentials, right?
Exactly. Like grocery stores, restaurants, clothing companies, they're all meeting those fundamental needs for survival.
Makes sense. And then you move up to safety and security. What kind of businesses would fit there?
Well, think about things like Insurance companies, security firms, even those companies developing, healthcare technology.
Oh, yeah. Anything
Yeah.
that helps people feel safe and protected.
Yeah.
Right.
Or provide stability, peace of mind. It's all about addressing those needs for security and well-being.
Okay, got it. So then we move up even further. We hit those social needs, right?
The need for connection, belonging, love, all that good stuff.
So what kind of businesses tap into that?
Social media platforms for sure, dating apps, even community
Oh,
organizations.
yeah, that makes sense. They're all about connecting people, right?
Exactly. They're fulfilling that deep-seated human need for, well, connection and belonging. And it just keeps going up from there.
What about those top two levels, esteem and self-actualization? Those seem a little less obvious.
They are, yeah. But they're just as powerful. Esteem, it's all about feeling good about yourself, achieving things, gaining recognition.
Okay, so like luxury brands, things that make you feel successful.
Yeah, luxury brands for sure. But also educational institutions, professional development programs, they all help people achieve a sense of accomplishment.
It's like investing in yourself, reaching your full potential, and then self-actualization. That's about, well, what exactly?
Self-actualization is about reaching your full potential, yes, but also, pursuing your passions, living a life of purpose.
Okay, so what kind of businesses would fall into that category?
Think about things like travel agencies, right?
Right.
Or creative outlets, coaching services, even opportunities for personal growth.
Wow, so entrepreneurship can really address every aspect of human experience.
The book actually highlights some really compelling examples from Nigeria, showcasing entrepreneurs tapping into these needs across different sectors.
Oh, I'd love to hear some specifics.
So at the physiological level, there's this company called Babangona.
Babangona.
Yeah, it's an agricultural franchise. They empower farmers to, increase their yields, their income.
So they're addressing that basic need for food security, but in a really innovative way.
Exactly. It's not just about providing food. It's about empowering people to produce it themselves.
That's incredible. What about the safety and security level? Any examples from Nigeria there?
Well, there's Kobo 360. They're a logistics platform. They connect truck drivers with businesses, making sure goods are transported efficiently and, well, reliably.
Okay, so they're contributing to economic stability, making sure things run smoothly.
Exactly. It's all connected, right?
It is, yeah. What about that love and belonging level? Any Nigerian companies standing out there?
You remember Flutterwave, right?
Hmm.
The digital payments platform.
Oh, yeah, we talked about them earlier. They're facilitating transactions across borders.
Right, but it's more than that. It's about fostering a sense of community, shared prosperity.
It's like they're using technology to break down those barriers and connect people.
Exactly. And then on the esteem level, there's Andela. They train software developers in Africa and connect them with global tech companies.
Wow, so they're helping people build fulfilling careers, gain economic empowerment.
And that feeling of accomplishment, it ties directly into that esteem need.
It's inspiring to see how entrepreneurs are using their businesses to not just make money, but to really lift up communities.
Absolutely. And then at that self-actualization level, you've got organizations like the Tony Elumelu Foundation.
I've heard of them.
They support African entrepreneurs through mentorship, training, funding.
They're giving people the tools and resources they need to pursue their passions, make a difference in the world.
Exactly. It all comes back to that idea of self-actualization, reaching your full potential and making a positive impact.
This is incredible. It's like entrepreneurship can touch every aspect of human life.
It really can. And the book dives even deeper into those different types of entrepreneurs.
Right. We talked about the visionary, the strategist, the social entrepreneur, but there are so many more.
Oh, yeah, a whole bunch. And each one brings something unique to the table, a different approach to solving problems.
Okay, so let's explore some of those other archetypes. What about the small business entrepreneur?
The backbone of so many communities. Those are the folks who, really pour their heart and soul into their ventures.
Yeah, often starting something they're truly passionate about.
Exactly. Think about like your local bakery owner or that independent bookstore owner. They thrive on that direct connection with their customers.
It's that classic entrepreneurial spirit driven by passion and a deep understanding of their market.
And then you contrast that with the large business entrepreneur.
Oh, yeah, they're operating on a whole different scale.
They're leading complex organizations, maybe hundreds or even thousands of employees.
It takes a different skill set to manage something that big.
For sure. They need strong leadership, strategic thinking, the ability to Well, to manage those large systems.
So it's like the entrepreneurial mindset can be applied across this whole spectrum, from small local businesses to, huge corporations.
It's adaptable, that's for sure. And then there's the scalable startup entrepreneur.
Oh, the ones dreaming big, aiming for that rapid growth.
Yeah, they want to disrupt industries, with innovative technologies and business models. Think Uber, Airbnb, SpaceX.
They're all about pushing the boundaries, changing the game entirely.
They've got that vision of a different future, and they're relentless in pursuing it. But then there's also those who are driving change from within existing companies, the entrepreneurs.
Oh, yeah, they're like the entrepreneurs in disguise.
Exactly. Working within those established organizations, but still championing new ideas, pushing for innovation.
It's a reminder that entrepreneurship isn't just about starting your own company.
It's a mindset, a way of approaching things. And then you've got the innovative entrepreneur.
Oh, the ones who are always obsessed with creating something new.
Yeah, they're the inventors, the tinkerers, the ones pushing the limits of what's possible.
The ones shaping the future with their ideas.
Exactly. And then you have the buyer entrepreneur.
Okay, what's that?
They might not be starting from scratch, but they have this knack for, recognizing potential in existing businesses.
Like they can see the hidden value that others miss.
And they take those businesses, revitalize them, turn them into something thriving.
It's like a different kind of creativity, different way of applying that entrepreneurial vision.
And then you have the researcher entrepreneur. They're bridging that gap between, scientific discoveries and real-world applications.
Oh, so they're taking those cutting-edge research findings and turning them into products and services that benefit everyone.
They're driven by knowledge, by the desire to make a real impact. And speaking of impact, we can't forget the social entrepreneur.
Right, the change makers.
Yeah, that they're using business as a force for good, tackling social or environmental issues.
Yeah, it's like that they're proving you can do well while also doing good in the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then there's the rise of the infopreneur,
Right.
The knowledge entrepreneur.
Oh, yeah, they're packaging their expertise, sharing it online through courses, ebooks, coaching.
They're using technology to, democratize access to knowledge.
It's like a whole new frontier for entrepreneurship, and it's creating so many opportunities.
And then you've got those who go it alone, the solopreneurs.
The independent spirits.
Yeah, the freelancers, consultants, online business owners, artists, anyone forging their own path.
They value that freedom, that flexibility, and they're willing to take on the challenges that come with it.
It's definitely not easy, but it can be incredibly rewarding. And then, of course, you have the franchise entrepreneur.
Oh, yeah, they're buying into a proven system.
Exactly. They want to run their own business, but they also want that guidance and support that a franchise offers.
It's a great option for some folks.
And we can't forget about tech entrepreneurs.
The ones driving innovation in the tech world.
Yeah, they're harnessing the power of technology to, create those disruptive solutions, the apps we use, the software that powers businesses.
They're the ones who are constantly pushing the boundaries, always innovating, always thinking ahead.
And then you have the collaborative entrepreneurs.
A team player.
Yeah, they understand that sometimes the best way to achieve something is to join forces with others, bring together different skills and perspectives.
It's about collaboration, synergy, working together to create something bigger than you could alone.
It's amazing, right? The diversity of the entrepreneurial landscape.
There really is a path for everyone, no matter what your background is, what your interests are.
And this book, it's like a guidebook to that landscape,
Yeah.
showing you all the different possibilities.
It's inspiring, for sure. But no matter which archetype you identify with, those core traits, those are still essential.
Yeah, the foresight, the insight, the creativity, innovation, diligence, perseverance, they all play a role.
And the book doesn't just list those traits. It uses stories, examples, to show how they actually work in the real world.
For example, when talking about foresight, it tells the story of Gary Kildall,
Hmm.
the guy who created the CPM operating system.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of him. He was brilliant, but he kind of missed a huge opportunity with IBM, right?
Yeah, IBM was looking for an operating system for their new personal computer. It could have been Kildall's moment, but he wasn't quite ready.
He had the technical brilliance, but maybe not the business savvy to seize that moment.
And that's where Bill Gates and Microsoft stepped in. They saw the opportunity and they took it, shaping the future of personal computing.
It's a reminder that timing is everything in the entrepreneurial world.
You got to be able to anticipate those trends, be ready to act when that window of opportunity opens. What about insight? How does the book illustrate that one?
I'm curious, yeah. What's their take on that?
It stresses the importance of really understanding your target market. It's not just about collecting data. It's about empathy, putting yourself in your customer's shoes.
Oh, I like that. Understanding their needs, their motivations.
And it gives examples of companies that failed because, well, they built product nobody wanted. They didn't have that insight into what their customers truly desired.
It's like you got to be a detective, a researcher, and a psychologist all at the same time.
And when it comes to creativity and innovation, the book uses examples like Xerox, a company that pioneered all these incredible technologies but didn't capitalize on them.
Yeah, they invented the graphical user interface, the laser printer, but they didn't see the full potential.
And companies like Apple and Microsoft came along, saw that potential, and ran with it, changing the tech landscape forever.
It's like a lack of creativity and innovation. It can lead to stagnation, even for companies that were once at the forefront.
It's a tough lesson, but an important one. And then there's diligence and perseverance.
Oh, yeah. Those are crucial. You're going to hit roadblocks, setbacks. It's inevitable.
It's about having that grit, that resilience to keep pushing forward even when things get tough.
And that perseverance is often fueled by that high energy and ambition that entrepreneurs have, right?
They're not content with, just coasting along. They're always striving for something more, something bigger.
And all of that, it's amplified when you have a strong network, right?
Absolutely. Mentors, advisors, partners, collaborators. You need those people to support you, guide you, challenge you.
And it's about operating with integrity, building trust within your network, your industry.
The book really drives home the point that entrepreneurship isn't just about building a successful business. It's about, building a legacy.
Yeah, making a positive contribution to the world.
Exactly. So we've covered the traits, the archetypes, the success stories, the cautionary tales. We've seen how it all connects to those basic human needs, using Maslow's hierarchy as a framework. But there's still one piece missing,
Oh, what's that?
the financial side of it all.
Ah, the money talk. Can't forget about that.
Exactly. In the final part of our deep dive, we'll explore how the entrepreneur's mindset tackles those practical aspects, managing finances, assessing risks, building a sustainable business.
Okay, I'm definitely ready for that. This has been such an insightful exploration so far.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. So let's take a quick break and then we'll jump into those financial strategies in the final part of our deep dive.
Okay, so we've talked about the mindset, the different types of entrepreneurs, those inspiring stories, and even the cautionary tales. Now let's get to the financial part.
Yeah, the money stuff, it's essential, right? I mean, you can have the best idea in the world, but if you don't know how to manage the financials, well,
You're going to run into trouble pretty quickly.
exactly. So what does the entrepreneur's mindset say about, the financial side of things?
Well, it really stresses that financial literacy is key.
Yeah, that makes sense. You need to understand the basics.
Like revenue, expenses, profit margins, cash flow, that kind of thing.
The language of business.
Exactly. But it's more than just, crunching numbers.
Oh, for sure. It's about developing a financial mindset.
Okay, so what does that mean? Like thinking about your business in a certain way.
It's about prioritizing profitability, sustainability, thinking long term.
So not just making money, but managing it well to ensure the business can thrive.
Exactly. And that leads to, budgeting and forecasting.
Yeah, those are important.
Yep.
Creating a plan, right?
You need a roadmap, essentially. Knowing what you expect to earn, what your expenses will be.
And being able to project into the future a little bit, anticipate those financial needs and potential challenges.
Exactly. It's like having a financial GPS for your business.
I like that analogy. But you also need to keep track of the present, right? Those day-to-day finances.
Absolutely. Record keeping is it's crucial. Every transaction, every receipt.
Oh, the dreaded receipts.
It's not just about being organized, though. It's about having a clear picture of where your money's going.
Identifying those areas where you might be overspending.
And spotting those opportunities to, improve.
So once you have a handle on your finances, you start thinking about growth, right?
Yeah. And that often means exploring different funding options.
Yeah, like how do you fuel that expansion?
The book goes into a few options like bootstrapping, loans, investments from venture capitalists, even crowdfunding.
So many different paths you can take.
It's about understanding the pros and cons of each option and, choosing the best fit for your business.
And your risk tolerance too, right?
Absolutely. And speaking of risk, risk management is a big part of the book.
Especially financial risk.
Yeah, the book highlights strategies like Securing insurance, to protect against those unforeseen events.
Like natural disasters, lawsuits, that kind of thing.
Right, those unexpected curveballs that can really hurt a business.
So being proactive, having those safety nets in place.
And another strategy is diversifying your revenue streams.
Oh yeah, not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If your business relies too much on one product or service, and then, something happens, the market changes.
You could be in trouble.
You need those multiple streams of income, so if one dries up, well, you're not left high and dry.
Makes sense. What about emergency funds? Those seem pretty important for a business.
The book definitely recommends building up those reserves, having a financial cushion, for those unexpected challenges, those tough times.
So it's like a rainy day fund for your business.
Exactly. It can make all the difference when you hit a rough patch. But beyond those specific strategies, the book really emphasizes that financial management is not just about numbers. It's about communication.
Oh yeah, especially if you're working with investors, partners.
You got to keep them in the loop. Share those, key financial metrics, the updates.
Transparency builds trust.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even if you're not working with investors, it's important to be transparent with your team
So everyone's on the same page, understands the financial health of the business.
and how their work contributes to the overall goals. That shared understanding, it's really powerful.
So it's about more than just crunching numbers. It's about mindset, communication, strategy.
It's about seeing your finances as an investment, really.
So every dollar you spend, you're thinking about the return on that investment.
Exactly. Aligning your spending with your long-term goals, making sure every dollar is working hard for you. And in today's world, with everything changing so fast,
Especially in the financial world.
you got to be a lifelong learner, Stay up to date on the trends, the new technologies, the tools.
Like you always got to be learning, adapting, evolving.
It's the only way to stay ahead of the curve. And this book, it gives you the knowledge, the tools to do just that.
This deep dive has been amazing. We've covered so much ground, from those ancient stories to the modern financial landscape.
It's been a whirlwind tour of the entrepreneurial world.
And what I really appreciate is that it's not just about, building a successful business. It's about using entrepreneurship to make a positive impact.
That's what it's all about, really. Solving problems, making the world a better place.
So listeners, we hope this has inspired you to think about the problems you're passionate about solving, the unique value you can bring to the world.
Entrepreneurship, it's not always easy, but it's incredibly rewarding.
It's a journey filled with purpose, passion, and the potential to create something truly amazing. So go out there, embrace that entrepreneurial spirit.
And until next time, keep seeking, keep learning, and keep pushing those boundaries.